So, welcome,
Hi.
Savannah,
Yes, sir.
the other half
Mm-hmm.
of the man. So, one beautiful thing about this podcast is I get to talk to people that, I know pretty well. And those are great interviews. I love doing those. But my favorite are the ones where I get to interview people that I don't really know very well.
Oh, yeah.
Because one thing I think, like, a lot of people fail to realize that have never been in active addiction or recovery or any of that thing is they just all addicts are the same. And to an extent we all have that connection, but everybody's fucking different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, obviously your husband, he's the dude,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really glad I get the experience of getting the other half. So, just kind of start off. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Pinehurst, North Carolina. It's like the little golf kind of town near in between Fayetteville and like Sanford.
Yeah, they have like the PJ Tour there and shit,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the U.S. Open and all that kind of stuff.
So I'm imagining like a lot of rich people and
Yeah,
shit
stuck
like
up,
that.
snooty.
Yeah. Do you fall into that category?
Oh yeah, the Combs is my family.
Okay. Explain.
They're just, I mean, like growing up. So I have a little tan, and Pinehurst really there isn't like yeah, like there's no sun down there.
Yeah.
So like they really like it's horrible, even like for like your family. But
Like, does your family kind of like come from money?
half my mom's side does, my dad's side doesn't.
So how did they end up kind of?
Oh Lord. So honestly, I don't know how my parents met. My dad used to joke and say he picked her up at this like white only club, and then my mom said that he was flirting with some high yellow girl at the store, and he grabbed like I don't know,
Yeah.
but like I really don't know. I don't even. But like my mom and dad, they were always loving it like together when it was just me and them two.
Yeah.
Like it was always great when they involved their families into our little family. It was
It was a
different
mess
story.
because you got like polar opposites kind of coming
Yeah.
together.
And then here I come. I'm too light for my dad's side. Not all of them. My
Yeah.
Aunt Rose, my Aunt Marlene, Uncle Nelson, Uncle Robert, love them to death.
Yeah. But you got
Everybody
that
else,
old school kind of.
I was too light for them. Why doesn't Savannah say she's mixed? Why doesn't Savannah like? Because I grew up, my dad's family was never around me like that. Like I was
Yeah.
always with my mama.
Yeah.
Because my dad, he was an addict. My mom wasn't. So like growing up, my dad, like we used to have to run to like his job on Fridays to get his check before he would get off.
Yeah.
That was like part of my childhood, but my mom made it fun. Like I wasn't to like 20 something until I realized it was pretty fucked up that
Yeah.
she had to do that. But
So how was like childhood for you? Like, I mean, did you have a good childhood?
my sister,
Yeah.
she's the only reason.
She's the one that kind of held everything together for you.
Yeah. So my sister is 14 years older than me. When basically when my dad was doing like hold on, so my dad was an addict. Okay,
Yeah.
so we all know how that is. So my mom doesn't drink, like I mean she couldn't even drink a non-alcoholic drink without acting like she was drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like it was just coming from two opposites. So watching my mama hold it together for me, staying with someone like that, and it's just I don't know. It's just now that I'm older, it affects me different because like my mom, like she really did like all the times. Like I used to like think like when like your parents are like fussing at you or something, like you think they're so horrible when really she was tired of dealing with that, and
Yeah.
then it wasn't up until like so I was a daddy's girl through and through. It doesn't matter what he did, but he cheated on my mama my whole life. Like he's taken me I've been to crack houses. I've been like molested like by family members, by people that are at crack, like just people
Yeah,
like
wow.
leaving me around addicts at a little girl, not thinking because like when you're high you think you know it all.
Yeah.
So like he would just leave me there to like play with their kids, but I don't even remember there being kids there.
Yeah.
But so that part of my life was good. My sister is where my happiness was when I was little. When she would drop me off, like she lived in Fayetteville, when she would drop me off, I'd scream for hours, until she would come back and get me until eventually I moved in with her pretty
Yeah.
much. Like, I stayed with her during the week and pretty much like with my mom on the weekends because she was always working, trying to make up for what my dad didn't do, and like as a little girl, I'm always smiling. My mom kept me dressed. Like, I never looked like, she never wanted other people to see what we were really going through,
Yeah. Wow.
especially her family. Because so, she did, like, my mom, she came from, like, she grew up okay. Like, it wasn't great, but it was old family money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, like, she had it okay growing up. So then, whenever the first person on, like, my grandma, her mother's originally from Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
So, and my grandpa was from Mamers, which is like this real, like, kind of like the coal mining town looking kind of thing. So, straight racist. I grew
Yeah.
up with like the N word being like what I really thought, like, like black people were, honestly. Like, I
Yeah.
really did. Like, I've never said that word to this day my whole life. But like, it's just, I don't know. You probably have to cut that because I just kind of got
No, you're good.
confused.
It's great. Honestly, it's awesome content. No, so I mean, like, just kind of from what you've explained to me already, I can't even imagine what, like, family events were like, if there were any, or like Thanksgiving or anything like
Yeah.
that. Because you've got one side of the family that's obviously African American, and, they're, once you get to the old school African American family members, they're old school. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah.
They have their own set of opinions, and then you get to the Caucasian side, the white side, and they've got their own ways, and those two things combining, and for those older people, I can't even imagine what that was
But one
like.
thing I can honestly say is, if my family hears this, they probably will disagree. But my dad's family treated my mama so, like, man, my mama's family treated my dad like shit. Like, they brought him over there to, like, clean his yard, like, clean their yard and shit.
Yeah,
But, like, as a little girl, I didn't realize that until, like, just a second. Like, I remember it was cold. It was so cold one, like, Easter. And, like, I was sick. And growing up, like, you hear, like, I don't know where they come up with the stuff they did, but I grew up hearing that if I would get a cold from someone that is not fully white, that it was like going to be the worst sickness I ever had.
wow,
Swear to God. It was like, and all my cousins, I'm sure they think the same thing now.
yeah,
But like, I remember I was sick, and like I was like 6 or 7, and my mom had to go up to her sister's house to get some potato salad. And the second she walked out, they made me go sit on the back porch. And my cousin Kevin, my cousin Casey, and my cousin Brandon came out there and sat with me. And this is why I fucking, like, oh man, my mind be going crazy all the time. This is why, like, I really need to get this out. Okay.
yeah,
So,
get it out, yeah,
but like, growing up, like, then you would, like, I loved everybody. Like, I didn't see what was really going on. I really didn't. But it wasn't up until, like, how old was I? Okay, so my sister, like I said, she's 14 years older than me, and I was probably about like yeah, no, I was 7. It was in 96, 96 or 97. But anyways, my sister had got married, and this is when, like, this is when I thought my world was like ending, because my sister got married and then she just moved, and like, I don't know what to do. I really don't.
yeah,
And like, my mom, she's obviously always working. My sister, I'm always used to her being right there or down the street somewhere, or I'm with her, like, like, I was at her cheerleading practices when I was little. It's just like I had another mother.
yeah,
And really, I feel like I bonded more with my sister than my mom.
yeah,
So like, but anyways, like, when she left and she moved to Fort Polk, Louisiana, she got married. She was up there for about a year, and then it was Father's Day of that year. We got a call. My sister's husband had got killed in a motorcycle accident. So my mom had to fly to Fort Polk to be with her, of course, and I'm left down here with my dad for like the longest, like, 3 days of my life. But thank God I was with my cousin Brittany and my cousin Tyler. Me and them three, like, we always rode. It was our moms in the front, riding around 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning looking for our daddies, you know, like that.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
kind of childhood. But it was like I said, our moms made it fun. Like I remember, Aunt Melissa, you know, she had this car. It was a blue car, like, and it never start. You know, it would never start. But we made it a game because we called it Bertha.
Yeah.
You know, like we as a kid, like you have to do this stuff, or like
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine as a kid actually knowing what was going on.
Well, and you know, when you're a kid, it's like you do have that innocence, and it's like a blessing when you're that young because you really don't know what's going on. And, you know, it is up to the parents to kind of try to steer it in a direction where it doesn't seem like it is what it is.
Yeah.
But then it's also hard because when you get older, all of that stuff you kind of repressed as a kid, you start to see it for what it actually is.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can imagine that kind of tears you up a lot. And especially, you know, you explained you've got racism on one side of the family and you've got racism on the other side of the family. And to be caught in between that
Yeah.
and be, you know, the mix of both families, like, I can't even begin to imagine. I mean, I'm sure that was hard.
And like even if they tried to say, I mean, they'll probably still say that it wasn't like that then. But like you can tell, like I mean, people can see how people react,
Yeah.
like immediately, especially when it's already uncomfortable in the first place. But like they, I don't know, they just kind of just right when my mom passed away, they just kind of just I haven't really even spoke to any of them. Like they don't. Like really, even my sister, just because of some other stuff. But
Well, do you think that that is like something that you could reach out to them and like maybe like salvage some type of bond, or is it just something that you think is better kind of left alone?
I know that the issue is so I might as well get on to it now. So like I'm probably like 20, yeah, I'm 23. My mother, like, she ends up passing away. Well, when she got sick, that's when I used, like, and just kind of, like, I just started using, and
Yeah.
it just kind of, like, I felt it, and it just kind of went, you know?
Yeah.
My
What
sister,
did you start using?
my first thing I ever used, like, shot Coke.
That was
First
the
thing-
first. That was
first
the
thing I
first
ever
IV
did.
drug I ever did too. Yeah.
That was the first thing I did that before smoking weed.
Wow.
I just thought, yeah, I didn't smoke weed till like, yeah, I think I tried weed when I was like 14, and I didn't like it at all. I don't remember. I really don't remember. I might have and didn't know, honestly. Like, because my cousin, like, I had older cousins that were always like here banning, like, just because they wanted to get me in trouble,
Yeah.
basically. So, like, it's like
So
that.
how explain real quick like that situation. How did you the first thing you did end up being shooting coke? Like what did that situation look like?
Okay. So during this time, I was a CNA 3, and I was a med tech. During this time, I was working like 2 jobs. That day I had, it was a relationship I was in. I had him come pick up my bank card to come pay a bill, and I'm at work. I leave early, like the last hour, because no one apparently had a phone anymore. So I go home and I open the door, and there's like every color clothes was in its own pile. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
there was like a bunch of cups, and then I walk in the next room and I see like I've seen my dad. You know, my dad smoked, so I'm familiar with that kind of, but I've never been around this kind.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, my bank account was missing like $700. So I got mad and I was like, well, shit, I paid for it. I might as well do it. And I did, and it was over after that.
With your dad?
No, with the significant other.
Oh, okay.
My dad smoked, so I knew what it looked like.
Oh,
kinda.
I got you.
Sorry.
Yeah, that,
like the
no, I
geekiness-
missed that. That's my fault.
Like
yeah.
the geekiness, I knew what that kind of looked like. Saying "hun." And
He had the clothes color coordinated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
cocaine.
stupid. But
Meth,
yeah,
they would just be fucking thrown all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so you get into doing the drugs. Your mom passed away. You know, like how did you take that when that came?
So, this was okay. So my mom passed 2012, 27, 13. So I had started experimenting like a little bit with like right after I did that, like I started experimenting with like pills and stuff a little bit. So that's what I was on when my mother passed away.
Yeah.
But up until, okay, so my mom, she got diagnosed with cancer, and from then on out, I was there but wasn't there. I never went around my mama high. She knew it. And then, like, probably about in October, I'd say, October 2013, she called and was basically like, she just started crying. And my mama never cried to me unless, like, something was really wrong. And basically, she was asking, like, what did she do? Like, why don't I want to be around her? Like, she thought it was something she did. And, just, I just don't even know. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I mean,
it's bad for your own, like, for your mom to think that, though, because, like, the people that knew my mama, though, everybody loved my mama, and no one ever had anything bad to say about her. She didn't, like, and that's another thing, and I understand that's a big reason why my sister doesn't talk to me, and I've told her that, like, I didn't want to do this on purpose. That's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, this shit is fucking so, oh, it sucks. Like, if I could wake up tomorrow and never think about drugs or anything that I ever did, I would, but I can't. Yeah. But nobody seems to understand that. And yeah, my brain's going constantly all the time because my whole life, people, like, we go over to my dad's side. Savannah, just go in there and act like this, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Savannah, do this. Like, so my whole life, still to this day, I feel like I still kind of, not even trying to, but let people determine how I move at that particular time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, obviously I'm doing okay. I'm alive right now. There's a reason why, like, I'm here. Like, so many times, like, I didn't understand why, like, losing my mom, really, it was like it still feels like a dream. You know what I mean? Because, like, that was the top. That was the only person, like it was her. It was always her, my mama, and until it wasn't. But I remember I was trying to get to the hospital that day, and everybody, the whole damn family was at the hospital 5 minutes away from my house. But at this time, I had 2 little girls at the time, so they were babies. They couldn't go up to, like, the ICU. Like, she was in, like, it was in, like, the intensive care or critical care or
ICU.
Like is ICU above CCU? It was one of those. I have no idea. Yeah. But anyways, like, where she was, the babies couldn't go. So, like, all day long, people's calling me, Vanna, your mama needs you. And you're okay, can you come, like, watch my kids for a minute? Like, or kind of bring them down there. Like, I'll come, like, switch places. No one offered to do that. Nobody. And finally, I got someone to come watch them, and I'm running out the house, and because, like, it's like I felt it,
Yeah.
But that night before, I had went up there and was able to talk to her by myself, while she was kind of in a medically induced coma. But that day, I was trying to get there so bad, like, it's like, have you ever wanted to, like, do something so bad? It's like every time you would try, like, you just kept getting pushed back or something.
Yeah,
like,
all the time.
You know what I mean?
To this day, yeah.
But it was like nothing. Like, I could not get to this hospital to save my life. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm walking out the door, and as I'm walking out, my sister's husband so nonchalantly says her heart stopped. I'm like, okay, I don't know what to say at this time. Like, it's like one of them things, like, okay, like, it's like almost like in shock. Like, it's, like, who just says okay to, like, someone saying their parent just passed away? Like, the person that they know that, like, the
well, and it's like, in those types of situations, it's like, you watch movies and shit, and you see that person on the side of the hospital bed that's, and it's not reality. I mean, reality is like a crazy situation hits you, and like, in all reality, your mind and your body doesn't know what to do. Yeah. So you just, all your body can tell your mind to do is react, and that's it. And everybody reacts differently. And like, something you said that, like, really caught my attention was rewinding just a little bit, where you said you didn't have this relationship with your sister anymore because it's like she doesn't understand. And something I think that addicts really need to know is that when you're trying to get your life together, you can't do it for anyone but yourself. And, the reason why I say that is because, like you're going to have people throughout your life when you do get clean and when you do get sober that are going to want you to act like it was never a part of your life and, oh, you never have to do that again. But it's, again, not reality. Reality is you go through the process of getting yourself clean, getting yourself on the right path, but you never lose sight of who you are.
Yeah. And
you never you never forget your past, but you also don't let your past define who you are as a person. Mm-hmm. Like I'll say stuff around my sister is a stockbroker, works for my dad, makes great money, never been in trouble, never smoked weed, like just perfect kid. And I love my sister to death. And, but, I'll say stuff around her and she'll be like, oh, whoa. Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't care. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I tell her the other day at lunch, I was like, yeah, I used to smoke crack every now and again. Yeah. She's like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I fucking used to smoke crack. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to say? But you can't feel shameful or anything. And the unfortunate part of it is like when you've got situations like that, you just have to be yourself. And it's hard to do when your whole life people have tried to make you be anybody but who you are. You know what I'm saying?
And like with her, like I think, and not just with her, but so many people think that, and they do, that like rehabs or like institutions or stuff like that help, and they do. Like, I think that's, like, learning every piece of information that I did from each place that I've been or went to, like, it's helped me today. But you're right, like, no matter how many places I went, like, I literally got this strong, not even, like, being right here in Durham, like, in an apartment, you know what I mean? Like, I went to Horizons, which was an amazing program. I was in Oxford House, which is amazing. It's not the programs that people, like, have all these, like, turmoil. I think it's their situation that they're just not happy with. That it's not, you know what I mean? Some people experience it different, but with me, like, it helped me. But then, like, once I got past the help, it's like when you start getting, like, clean and stuff together, you start seeing other people, like, doing the same stuff you do. And it's like, why are you doing that? It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then it's kind of bad because, like, you were just doing it, like, a month ago.
Yeah.
You know, so that took me a minute to, like, get used to. But as I was in Oxford House, it helped me to understand helping other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, you can't be, like, just, like, one-sided with helping someone. You know, like, my husband helps women. Yeah. You know, like, if there was a man, like, obviously he wouldn't care. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, that stuff like that doesn't...
You shouldn't discriminate. Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
and I can completely understand what you're saying about the whole recovery situation as far as, like, Oxford House. You got the program I went to, it's steps to it. You know what I mean? Like your first step, you're there for the first 30 days. You got to wear your shirt tucked in and all this crazy shit. And, that's the most important part of the program. But you get these people in there that have been there for like 5 days and they're like, this is the best thing ever. Like, I have changed my life already. It's been 5 days. They're like a fucking hall monitor or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're just like, yes. And like, then a month later, they fucking leave. And I'm just like, dude, chill the fuck out, bro. Sit back. You got to take this shit at your own pace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was hard for me. Like, I left the program I was at twice, and I knew I was going back to prison. I'm like, dude, fuck this shit. I'm going to go do my time and get out. And, when I got to the point where, like, I realized, like, okay, I don't know what to do after this point. I need to have somebody tell me what the next step in my life is so I can get it started.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like the little programs and the halfway houses and all that shit. If you take them for what they are and you use them how you're supposed to use them, it's a platform for you to start building whatever you're trying to build.
Yeah, and and about that too, growing up, like my dad, he was in he's been in probably every men's program in North Carolina from the time, growing up. But he would do it for he would do it for me and for my mom. But he I mean, they were smoking dope with the man that was cooking the spaghetti. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like it wasn't never anything that he wanted to do for himself. He did not get clean until he started driving trucks, and that's what he wanted to do. He finally got his CDLs
Yeah.
and all that, and you know, like, and yeah, sometimes family does build you, make you stronger. But for my dad, his family, he cared so much for him. Like, I don't understand this part, but like, I don't know. But I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm sorry, but
You
like
can get
he,
into whatever you want to get
yeah.
into. I'm not. If we go back and you want to cut it, that's
I
fine.
guess
But
like my dad was an amazing. Like I love my dad was everything to me,
yeah,
but he was more of a great uncle than a dad. Does that
yeah,
make sense? Like
sure,
but he was a better uncle than he was a daddy.
yeah.
Like he loved me, you know what I mean? But I mean,
He
he's
didn't want
taking
the
food out of
full
my yeah.
responsibility of taking a kid on and it being his.
Yeah, like I mean, but I was everywhere with him. I don't even know if it's that. I just think he just couldn't stop using. He wanted to, but he couldn't.
Yeah,
He was battling being a dad and a husband, all that. And I think he just instead of being like, it's like trust issues with me came from my dad.
yeah,
You know, like growing up, like I said, my mom had this friend that they were best friends for 20 years, 23 years. My dad had been sleeping with her the whole time.
yeah.
So that, like, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to just be so trusting to women or
Mm,
men, really. You know,
yeah,
it takes a minute to gain my trust, like just even talking in a conversation. And like, that's messed me up. Trust
sure.
issues has. And then, like, other relationships after that didn't help. So it's like I was making myself worse by trying to think it was helping me. And it wasn't until, like, till I moved to Durham.
Yeah. Also, like like having a wife, having a kid, taking care of a kid, making sure your wife's happy. That shit's fucking hard. You know what I mean? And like as addicts, the easiest thing we know to do is go get high. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not that like I'm sure and I'm not speaking for your dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, but like I can relate. Like we want to do these things. We want to go get that job. We want to go buy that car. We want to go do this, but we got to put that work in. And working's fucking hard.
Yeah.
So like, okay, I can do this tomorrow, whatever. You know what I mean? But right now, let me do this because this is easy. This is what I know. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate, but from what you said, it sounds like he kind of made it out and found something he enjoyed doing. And
Yeah.
yeah, so is he still around today?
No, he actually passed away January 2000, what, 21.
Okay.
Like I said, he smoked crack his whole life. Um, Apparently this when fentanyl started coming around,
Yeah.
someone had put that in the dope he smoked.
God,
And, but
that
you
shit's
know,
so
like
fucking scary.
yeah, but like like the for my dad though, like it kind of sounds messed up, but for my dad though, like that was he like after my mom passed away, he wouldn't say it, but he would like my mama. It was one of them things like he loved her more than anything, but he just couldn't stop cheating. He
Yeah.
loved his family. He just couldn't stop cheating or getting high. My mama could deal with the drugs. She could deal with that. She could not deal with him hurting me or start when I started asking questions of what she couldn't understand. She couldn't take it.
Yeah.
So that's when that finally they got a divorce when I was in fourth grade. And then really that's when I started going around my mom's family more
Yeah.
and being more involved with my sister. But like I got well, I got real quick. I got married when I was like 17, right out of high school, moved out, and then moved back in with my mother.
Mhm.
And then I started, like, I was lashing out, started going in like any kind of relationship. Then I just basically like it's the truth. I just started having a kid after kid back to back just because I was high. I wasn't understand like he loves me right now while I'm pregnant, so I'm just keep having babies. Basically,
Yeah.
I mean it's the truth. Like my girls are amazing and I'm grateful that they are happy and where they are right now. My sister's amazing. Like my sister has my oldest one,
Mhm.
and like, which is why I don't say anything bad about her because I know they are doing 10 times better than what she even like offered me when I was a child
Yeah.
because she was still kind of a child.
Sure.
So like, it's not like I don't have any hateful thing to say to any of my family members or nothing like that because like, that's just not who I am.
Yeah.
I love them to death. They're stuck up. They're racist, but I love them.
Yeah.
Like I still like. I mean, You know what I mean? Like my grandparents, they passed away. I never got to experience like they would never like call like I wasn't allowed to call them Granny or Papa. I had to call them by their first name, Bucker Joyce. You know, so like, and this is another thing that people have always said to me. They say that I always play the victim. I always play the victim. But you fucking stupid bitch, you would never fucking let me get to talk and tell you what the fuck was really going on. You know what I mean? So anytime I would try to talk, of course it's going to sound like something bad's happening because I've got so much shit to tell you. And I can't because you keep cutting me off trying to say that I'm playing the victim. You know, so a lot of people don't get to know me because of that. Like, I just got where I won't talk. Like, I mean, you probably noticed when you first met me, I'm just there because I'm always scared. Like, still to this day, but, like, I get them little moments, of course. Like, I'm a lot better. Like, I'm not crying just because it's just fucked up that I even was feeling like this at one point, you know? But, like, now, like, if I want to say something, I'm going to say it, you know? And, like, I was scared back then. I was in this... Really, I was with my kids for 6 years in a bad situation. You know, I got, like, I mean, this is another thing that's going to make me sound like the victim, but the shit really happened.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, my mother's passed away, my dad's gone. I'm with this guy that thinks that I'm the only person that I'm like, you know, this is an ex relationship that I had my youngest two children with. Like, it's like I was living in the 1800s, you know, like I wasn't allowed to have like the keys to my car, but he was just you fucking, oh, I'm sorry, that's all I had to say.
I mean,
you know?
Explain the situation.
Like,
You couldn't have the keys to your car.
No, like I couldn't have the keys in my car. I couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't do anything. Like I could not do anything.
He was in control of everything.
But really, though, he wasn't, though, because I could have left any time.
Yeah, but it was something. What was it that like held you there? Like, what was it that like had you tethered to him?
Because I would let people make me believe that they were all that I had no, you know. And honestly, when I first moved to Alamance County, this was I went to a PO's appointment, and that was the first PO appointment I was able to go to. The second one, I had to go myself because they weren't there. So I had to, you know, obviously go myself if they were at work. I couldn't work. But anyway, so how can I get to an appointment if I don't have keys to the car? You know, so my officer didn't understand. She basically did me for absconding.
Well, that's
so
a hard situation to explain.
So I went on the run for 2 years.
Yeah.
Basically, so those 2 years, boy, that sick fuck had fun in the last 2 years because, like, you know, like, I wasn't about to try to get taken away from my children just because I was scared of his little bitch ass, you know? I wasn't about to call the cop because he was hitting me. Yeah. He got his payback. Yeah. You know what I mean? And, like, I'm not out for revenge or whatever. It's going to happen eventually. But, like, I couldn't do anything, but it was because I let someone allow me to believe that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know,
I went to prison, and that just saved my ass.
Yeah,
it woke me up. Like the last time, the first couple of times I went, it was just kind of going. I was young, but that last time really.
I can relate to that 100%. And you know, like something like I want to say, because I don't think that you're playing the victim. I think that you've been through some very difficult things in life, and you know, like something I want to say about that though is like kind of like what I said previously. It's like your past happened, you put yourself in situations, or you were put in situations where you were victimized, you know what I mean? But you know, like, it's your choice whether or not you're gonna let that define who you are, you know what I mean? So it's really, but people like fail to realize like how powerful it is to speak out about stuff like that. And have people that say, oh, you're playing the victim, or blah, 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 have probably done a ton of fuck shit in their life and probably been victimized multiple times in their lives, and they're too afraid, too ashamed, or whatever.
Security clearances and stuff.
Yeah, you're fucking too ashamed to really tell the story. You know what I mean? And I always hear that shit. But, you know, like, on me, like, you know, like, I always used to, this is just me, you know, like, I always used to blame my dad for everything.
Yeah.
I would always be like, he was a fucking alcoholic when I was a kid, and my dad's been clean for 15 plus years. Like, he's done his thing. But, he didn't spend any time with me. He was always working. He would try to buy my love, yada, yada, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And everything that happened to me to get me to where I'm at now was my doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't put a fucking crack pipe in my mouth and tell me to smoke crack. He didn't put a needle in my vein and shoot me up. Could have. I look back on it now and, like, everything that got me to where I am now, like, I put myself in situations.
Yeah.
And, I'm speaking on me. Obviously, you've got a different story, but, like, me, like, it's beautiful for me now because I can look back and I'm like, I really shouldn't have blamed him for anything.
Yeah.
Like, and I shouldn't have blamed my mom, and I shouldn't have blamed my baby mama, and I shouldn't have blamed my sister and my teachers and every motherfucker I blamed. You know what I mean? I look back on it now and I'm like, dude, I'm in a really good place in life, and like, I got me into all the situations that were bad, but I got me to where I'm at now. You know what I mean? And that's just the way I look at life now,
Yeah, and I don't know. It's like I want to tell my story, like but sometimes I do stop myself because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to take away what they're going through right now. Because there's stuff that, like, man, there's stuff that me and Brian talk about all the time. Like, I have no idea how, he's been through that, and there's stuff that, like, I've, like, experienced that he wouldn't, like, like, it's just, you meet everybody that's goes through something different, and, like, everyone at that particular time is going through something that's just, like, rough on them right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be just, like, you can't find, like, your charger or something, you know what I mean? But it's, like, you freak out when you can't find that charger or that vape, like, it's just...
Ask bro,
like,
I lost my keys for fucking 25 minutes the other day when he was over here. It took me forever to find my fucking keys. Trust me, I completely relate to what you're saying.
But, like, now, today in my life, like, this past, like, since I've moved to Durham, really, and, like, moving to Durham, it was a shit show. Like, I got kicked out of a house, and basically, I thank God I had a job. I worked at an assisted living place on the other side of town, and I worked there, so I was able to, like, stay there, and then I would get a room. Like, I don't know, like, God, like, that was really when I just was like, okay, I'm, like, obviously, like, I'm strong enough to do this by myself. So that's when I called Oxford House, and that's basically what started me to where I'm, like, at right now. But when, like, my whole world opened up, like, whenever I started talking to Brian, like, I didn't realize how, like, man, I was just like a shell, but I was helping people, though. But to myself, I wasn't, I felt so ugly all the time, and just,
Yeah.
man, it's the people that say they love you the most are the ones that will fuck your head up the worst.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
the people that you put the most trust in, people who I put trust in is, I don't know how he, like, got me to this, like, service in, like, a year, but he did, and, like, I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. I really am.
Yeah.
Because, like, everybody growing up, like, they always thought I was this little weak child, like, but no, softball was different. Softball was good at. Savannah's strong at softball. She's good at softball, but Savannah don't know how to do nothing else. Like, she can't barely walk on her own. Like, that's how it felt growing up. Like, if I went on the field, like, I needed supervision. I needed, like, help. Like, everyone thought I was always going to do something so wrong. So when I did, that's when no one wants to be like, here, you need help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I bet, like, the first time I started using drugs and I really, really knew that, I was like, okay, I don't need to do this, because I knew, like, I was smart enough to know, like, I'm from a family of addicts. I know what happens. Like, so I called my sister. Like, my mom passed away to December 2013. I went to prison for the first time, February or March? And I didn't call I called my sister and let her know I got locked up, but I was probably about a month in, and I called her, like, begging her. Basically, I was like, can I please move? Like, because she was in Florida, I begged her, like to move up there with her. I was like, I won't. I was like, like I honest to God believe if I had moved to Florida with her then, I would have never touched another drug.
Yeah.
I really don't think I would have because my sister, she was like my God. Yeah, basically, I don't want to say like that, but my sister was just the most important thing to me. She still is, and I try to talk to her. And I wish, she probably won't even if I love her to death, but even if she watched this, she probably wouldn't feel anything.
Yeah.
Because she thinks that I'm playing the victim, and I'm not. I'm just telling like it is because I can't tell her, and it's like I don't even say anything ill about her now. Like I love her more than anything, and my mother. Like those were the two most important people to me.
Yeah.
But now, if they're upset that I found someone that I love that I'm starting a family with, they're upset about that because I'm not alone no more, and then I'm happy. And basically that's it. Like, they're upset because I'm happy now. Like, they want me in, like, it sounds like they want me in a treatment center alone, trying to still learn how not to use or something.
Yeah.
They have it a whole nother, it's just
Well, they just don't understand.
Yeah, that's all. But I've tried to explain it to her, but it's okay. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not holding myself back trying to make her understand no more.
Yeah.
So I had to cut myself back from her anyway. So.
Well, you're on your path now.
Yeah.
And everything you do now is for you.
And can I say that?
I already know. Yeah, I told him congratulations the other day. Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, me and Brian are having a baby.
Yeah. It's gonna come out with dreads.
Yes. Oh man. And and people might have something to say about that, but it's our life, and
exactly. Yeah, it's. I mean that it's so true. I mean it's your life. If you're everybody fucking innate. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, just for today. Like they say as long as you're not using, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's true. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not using, you're not getting high, you're building something. Y'all got shit going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people can say that. Not a lot of people that grew up with millions and millions and millions of dollars, getting spoon fed from a silver spoon their whole life, can say they've got something going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can. And like it's like this story I told Brian about the janitor. You know what I mean? Like, this dude's a fucking billionaire now.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like you got to start somewhere. And like, obviously, like, like it's just like I said, you just can't let your fucking past define who you are. You always remember your past. You never forget your past because your past got you to where you are now, but you don't let your past define you as a person.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing.
And since we've been together, that's one thing we agreed on.
Yeah, absolutely.
We walked in with them one bags and didn't look back,
And y'all just moving forward. All you can do is move forward.
Yeah,
that's it. How much different is life for you now than it was?
I speak up for myself.
Yeah.
I never took up for myself ever. And ever. like really, literally never.
Yeah.
But like life now, I don't know. Like I don't understand why I was as scared as I was then to actually be my full self and not be like, no, I got it. Like, like actually take control of my own life and not, get it like produced by someone else, basically. Like making, like being their puppet or whatever, or saying this right,
You're just genuine now.
It's just
original.
I wish I would have always spoke up for myself, though.
Yeah.
And I think I would have gotten not a lot farther with people understanding me.
Sure.
Because, like, I love myself. I just started loving myself. I have a very different personality. If you don't know me, you're probably gonna think I'm weird, you know. But it's just, I love who I am, and it is what it is. Shit, you ain't gotta be with me or be around me.
What would you tell that girl that doesn't love herself, that doesn't know herself, that hasn't figured that out yet? Like, what would you say to her right now?
That you're just scared of loving yourself is what it is. That's what it is. I think you need to stop being scared of being who you know you can be and stop trying to be what they think you're going to be. or you know what I mean,
Absolutely.
like we're not like we're women, you know what I mean? Obviously, we're created like to give birth. We're strong people. We're not weak. Like we weren't like designed for. I mean, I guess we probably were kind of designed to be like not ran by a man, but like be like whatever. But anyways, like just don't. That part got fucked up. I'm sorry.
No, I mean it's true.
I
I
started
get.
trying to talk like Brian. I got confused.
No, you need to spit that truth because it's true. Like
Yeah,
women
it's,
are powerful and they need to
yeah.
understand that.
If you know you're strong, be strong. Don't second guess yourself. You
And
know what I mean?
if you aren't, you need to figure out how to be, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, there's something like I heard this recently, and it was just something that like kept sticking with me, and it was like everybody has like grace in them, and that people hold on to that grace because when you hold on to that little piece of grace, that is what you are covering up with the stuff that really hurts you the most. That will break you if you don't hold on to that grace and faith, stuff like that. That little thing that's like designed to break you, it will, you
Yeah.
know. But that's why, like, you just gotta keep. You just can't stop.
No,
Like
absolutely not.
I don't like. It's. I'm so proud of myself for making it as far as I have
Yeah.
because I was this
Should
weak
be.
child. You know, I was.
Yeah.
And I really was weak up until I like what 2 years, like a year and a half ago, till I really met Brian and just found out that I was strong.
Y'all got even stronger when you got
Yes,
together. That's
like
awesome.
I ain't like, but when I tell you, I ain't never met nobody like my mama before. But it's that's where we get like it's kind of deep between me and him like spiritually because like I haven't felt this kind of love since my mom's been like
Yeah.
alive.
Wow.
And that's what I don't know. That's just it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is. And like because I feel that love again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. That's beautiful. No, that's beautiful. It really is. Wow. That's awesome.
And like he's so strong too, and like he second guesses himself. Everybody does, but I've never met someone as strong as him either.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff that like I've heard that he like we've like discussed like as like a couple. Like, I couldn't imagine, and for us to come together like we do, that's just it's something like I like. It still feels like it's like a dream.
Dude,
Like,
just from what I've witnessed between the both of y'all, it's incredible.
it's like I got my best friend.
And y'all thug it
like,
out together. You
it's
know what
like
I'm
we
saying?
can be.
Like,
We got
yeah.
different I got mental health issues, so I got different personalities. So he's not bored with me.
Yeah, there you go. Hell
He's
yeah.
not bored at all.
Well, thank you so much. That was
Thank
such a
y'all.
beautiful story. It really was. And yeah, I hopefully, I achieved my goal of providing this platform for people to get some shit
yeah.
off their chest. And,
Yeah. You
you
definitely
know,
helped
it was
me.
really great to see that emotion come out. And that's raw. And that's what we look for. And that's what we want because people, especially in recovery, when you just meet them, a lot of times they try to sell you a dream.
Yeah.
And, they're this person. In reality, they've got all this shit. And you just laid it out on the table.
Because I gave myself unrealistic expectations when like my very first time ever getting clean.
Yeah.
So I was going to like 90 meetings in 30 days.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I think a lot of
Lord
people
Jesus.
do that. Yeah. Hell yeah. No, you
Yeah.
just gotta take it at your own pace.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So do I sign it on the,
Oh, absolutely. Yes, on the table.
or I didn't know if I was supposed to do it on the camera or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wherever you want to sign it, sign it.
Okay. Y'all got to sign it on camera?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You got anything you want to plug? Like any stuff you got going on? Like y'all's business, anything like that? He did it all?
I'm not a good advertiser.
Okay.
Tattoos and shoes with piercings too.
Tattoos and shoes with Pearson too. Hit him up on Great White 55 on Instagram. Brian and Savannah on
Byford.
Facebook. And Savannah and Brian on Facebook. Byford.
Or Savannah's Cleaning Solutions right here in Durham. You can call me at 919-423-9492 and we'll get any solution taken care of.
Awesome. Yep. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction or anything that is bringing them down in the world, don't be afraid to ask for help. And my best piece of advice to any addict out there is when you're going through these things, listen to what the people around you are telling you and don't be afraid to go get some help. Thank y'all.
Thank you.